Explosion at the heart of Douala, economic capital of Cameroon. A 3-level story building has just been demolished by experts of the Military Engineering Corps.
The building went down and as predicted, because we're a little bit not confused, we're really thinking that maybe something going to go wrong. Wrong because the building was unstable, and wrong because the building was so close to the surrounding environment. But everything went so well, and as you can see now, the building is down completely, and we think we don't have real damage to the fires. I mean, I can't in 1 minute or 2 minutes to explain exactly what's the technique that we did use. But what I can say is that it's the technique. I mean, if there's something like that to do in the future, there are some specialists who are there who can do it well, as you used to say in the other countries.
The blasting operation, aimed at freeing a sanitation ovoid illegally occupied by a building whose owner is nowhere to be found. A high-risk operation successfully carried in presence of the government delegates to the Urban Council of Douala.
Nous pouvons lancer un ouf de soulagement.
We can feel some relief because, as you must have noticed, it was not an easy operation. It was delicate and even dangerous for those who worked there. That is to say, the military engineers and especially the entourage. You have seen that the building to be destroyed was really surrounded by dwellings. Free spaces were not obvious. The first assessment that we can make is that it was a successful shot, because the building collapsed almost 100%, and that the collateral damage is minimal, not to say null. So I take this opportunity to congratulate the military engineers and to say thank you to the minister delegate to the presidency responsible for defense. But above all, a thank you to the Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces. You know that the army cannot move if the supreme leader doesn't.
The military engineering is not at its first task in the city of Douala. Instructed by the head of state, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, this elite unit of the Cameroon Army, specialized in major civil engineering works, has successfully rehabilitated the Parcours Vita in the Makepe neighborhood. Likewise, the Parcours Vita of Yaoundé, Bamenda and Gaoundéré, constructed and rehabilitated by the military engineers. The rehabilitation of the sports space in Douala has been done in scrupulous respect of specifications and deadlines to the satisfaction of the resident beneficiaries.
I would first like to say thank you because I must be grateful, like all the populations, for the military engineers who, under the high instructions of the Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, have majestically rehabilitated the Vita course from 2010 to 2012. It offers the workshops necessary for the practice of sports, reason why the populations are surging massively here.
In Gaoundéré, a capital of Adamawa region, the non-house of engineers of Cameroonian Army was able to transform a rocky land of 40 hectares in a beautiful infrastructure for the benefits of sport lovers in the region. The construction of the Parcours Vita of Gaoundéré involved 100 people, including 30 military technicians and 70 civilians, for a satisfactory result. From the fence to the administration blocks, tracks and workshops, everything was done in the rules of arts. The work of military engineers is benefic to all social strata. For example, to children of the Cameroonian Childhood Institution in Betamba, whose renovation and rehabilitation works are ongoing. After having completed the first phase of its mission, the Military Engineers Corps promised to deliver these works within the deadline. Thanks to the expertise of the military engineers, the CCI will soon be receiving its new administrative blocks, 3 brand new classrooms, as well as workshops, all renovated.
We came today to say that at the end of this work, 80 children can be welcomed in this center during the next academic year. Beyond that, we can also say that we are happy there are many things which were done. That is to say, there is carpentry, computer workshops with state-of-the-art equipment. Even beyond the fact that the computer center has been completely transformed, we can speak of it as a multimedia center with a media library. And there is also the school section and common infrastructures, such as the kitchen, the infirmary and the multipurpose room, which were all rehabilitated. We are really satisfied, and this is an opportunity for us to express our appreciation, to express our deep gratitude to the President of the Republic, who has kindly authorized the Military Engineering Corps to carry out this structuring project in the social sector.
In the same spirit of professionalism, the military has rendered great services to the University of Yaoundé 1, located in Ngwaikele neighborhood in the political capital of Cameroon, achievements for which the rector of the University of Yaoundé 1 sent a letter of thanks to the Minister of Defense. In most of these works, the Military Engineering Corps also employs civil engineers. This civil-military collaboration has been perceived in the renovation and rehabilitation of houses acquired by the Director of Presidential Security at Olembe in Yaoundé. The Olembe renovation works employed a good number of 44 technicians, including 12 military and 32 civilian technicians.
We have the mission to do the habitability work here in the Olembe site. Part of the work was to do the water supply, because we did the water drilling, the water drilling system. We do the fence, we do the fences. We did the access roads and the parking by doing the light pavement. We also do the construction of the police posts.
Besides its mission of supporting the Cameroonian Defense Forces, the Military Engineering Corps does not fail to play its role of supporting the Cameroonian development. Since 1962, more than 1,200 civilians and military projects has been carried by the military engineers. This expertise and know-how are highly appreciated and required all over the country. Under the supervision of the Minister of Defense, is working with his staff to provide adequate technical responses to numerous orders from the state and the decentralized territorial collectivities. For instance, the Boulevard de la République in Douala, economic capital, whose extension is ongoing, a construction site of the Military Engineering Corps. The mission of extension is practically accomplished. This infrastructure is a result of a convention signed with the Urban Council of Douala.
The image I have of them is that the boulevard has done us good for us all. You know, when that happens, there are always bad apples. There are the people it touched and they left, but those who stayed, I don't think it disturbed them. They are proud because it has become a city altogether. Because where we were it was a swamp, but today it has become a city. I don't think there is one person who can be unhappy. It really does us good.
The bridge over the Tongo Bassa, 44 meters long, falling in the frame of the second structure of this convention, is already operational.
Geometrically, the road is exactly 3 kilometers long with a valid drivable width varying between 7 and 9 meters. A footprint that varies between 12 and 15 meters. We have facilities. We have 3 crossroads to develop. the Château Niala crossroads, the Lycée crossroads, the Ferme Projet crossroads, which are very important crossroads. Therefore, in terms of structure, we have a Class 2T road, which is a road with a traffic large enough to receive all the charges for this project.
And the surroundings of the economic capital in Japoma, another construction site of the highway of 3 kilometers by the military technicians, is at 99% complete, practically operational. The remaining works mainly consist in the lightening of the road. The works are realized in a strict respect of deadline, which is one of the characteristics of the Military Engineering Corps.
On behalf of the Association of Parents of Pupils of the Japoma High School and teachers, we say thank you for this initiative. The work is so advanced, and we say thank you for the professionalism of the military engineers compared to the quality first of the work, and also say thank you to the Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces for having awakened this cell. The cell of the military engineers we have never had. We are so satisfied on behalf of the whole village and the association.
The military engineers has also been very efficient in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, as they put Janon How in the rehabilitation of roads in this part of the country in collaboration with the Minister of Public Works. In the southwest, rehabilitation of roads such as Chang Menji, Kumba Tombel, Kumba Ekondochichi, Mundumba Toko are the works of military, as well as Santa Pinin, Esu Kwep, Bafut Bifang Boom, Kambe Bisaje in the northwest regions. The expertise of this specialized unit was required as in order to facilitate movements of goods and people in these insecurity regions. In the town of Baham, West Region, the military engineers carried out the graveling of 10 kilometers road and the rehabilitation of the municipal grandstand. The efficiency of the Military Engineering Corps has been well illustrated in the construction of a modern market in Betwa, the capital of the East Region, in 24 months only. The market covers nearly 3.5 hectares with 27 buildings, divided into 11 active sectors for a total of 652 stands.
The military engineers, it is often said, the quality of work done by military engineers is reassuring. It offered enough guarantees, and I believe that in the time it proved itself. In addition, having requested military engineers results from the fact that their experience reassured us, and that the work done by military engineers in other regions had finally convinced us with their quality and durability. It is therefore because of this that we judged that the military engineers were able to do this work for us. And today, we are completely satisfied with the quality of the work that was done, and the assurance and efficiency that surrounded this work, and even the respect of deadlines.
In March 2019, the modern market of Sangmelima in the southwest region of Cameroon, built by the military on the land of 3.6 hectares, was delivered. The market comprises 11 sectors of business activities, as well as parking areas and some additive sectors.
We also see in the market a central building, which is the one we have before us, which is made to give a certain beauty to the market. The market obviously includes all the sectors of activity that we have in a traditional market. That is to say, thrift stores in the fair sector, electronics sector, and all other sectors. In the central building, we also plan the possibility for the town hall to be able to contain inside the sectors of mobile telephony and banking, and a space below which could allow for the installation of games for children. The architecture of the building is quite attractive, which allows you to go to the top and have a nice view of the city of Sangmelima.
Chaque marché a son histoire. Effectivement, je suis passé à Betwa.
Each market has its history. Indeed, I went to Betwa to report on the work that was done there by the military engineers, and today I am here in Sangmelima for the same purpose. I note that the result of the work that has been done here is praiseworthy, and so I would like to congratulate the sappers, because that is what we call the soldiers who work in engineering. They did a very good job. The market is beautiful, it is modern, it is spacious, and really there is not much to say from this point of view, which I am very satisfied with. I hope that the users will make good use of it, because you know, it can be beautiful, but if you do not maintain, it becomes ugly.
Parce que vous savez, ça peut être beau, mais si vous n'entretenez pas, ça devient laid.
Presented as an arm for development with about 1,500 personnel, heavily equipped, the Military Engineering Corps is available for any construction work in any region of the country. In April 19, 2018, the military were involved in a construction project for the building of schools infrastructures in the 3 departments of the far north mostly affected by terrorist attacks. This project, financed by the French Agency of Development, consisted in building 121 classrooms and renovating 5 others, 14 administrative blocks and 28 toilet blocks and 15 boreholes. The deployment of military engineers in the war zone inspired the Kenyan government that sent a delegation in Cameroon in order to learn from the Cameroon experiences as far as realization of great works in insecurity zones are concerned.
We came here with the main purpose of seeing how Cameroon has been able to implement a road project in an insecure zone. The zone that we are talking about is prone to terrorists, insurgents, and which is the same case here. And so when we came here, we've just learned that the military course, that is the engineering course of the military, were engaged in the implementation of that project. And so, you know, it is against the normal practice where the military is only just to protect the boundaries but not to be involved in the works. And so we became very interested to see how the military delivers on social projects which are for the good of the people. And I think we are very proud of what the military here in Cameroon is doing. I think it is very encouraging, and these are lessons that we've taken back home, that we can deliver on projects that are for social good with the help of the military.
Colonel Jackson Kamgeng, a director of Military Engineering Corps, keeps an eye on the quality of services and performance of his men on the field. The ramp-up of the unit under his coordination corresponds to the will of the head of state, Paul Biya, to involve the defense forces in a more practical way in the development of Cameroon. In 2012, the military engineering acquired important modern equipment which enabled the engineers to build the passive telecommunication infrastructure and footbridges in the Bakassi area. Built on 400 meters square each, the infrastructures in the localities of Jabane II, Bamusi, Akwa and Isobo are all operational since October 2017.
We have been asked to construct 4 passive equipment in the Bakassi area. Those equipment are located in Bamuso, Akwa, Jabane and Isobo. In each of those locations, we have it's constructed in 500 meters square land, and we have a 75 meter tall of the pylon. Then also one of the particularities is that we have is powered by solar energy, and also on a secondary energy here is a generator. That makes it really important in this area where usually we have problem to bring fuel and all those other things here. The main difficulties here is supply. You know, everything's come from Limbe, Limbe is far away from here, and you have to use boat to bring sand, to bring gravel, and even at times water. In this area, you have to put water in drums, put sand in the bag to take them here. So it makes the project becoming more difficult, very difficult to do it here, and it's risky because having guys on the sea all the time, taking all those equipment up and down is really risky, and it's coming more expensive because at times also to put all those things in the bags and bring them here. And most of the time when you can have some of the boat who can sink, so it's not always easy to do something like that here. That's probably why we have been chosen, because the military, we are maybe a little bit more used to difficulties than the private sector, because I'm quite sure that the private sector, it will be very difficult for them to come and do a project like this in Bakassi. That's probably why they have difficulties to do some of those projects here.
Again, I'll have to say congratulations to our force of order, especially Génie Militaire, for the work they have done. It's very, very professional. Although we found certain weaknesses there, but we've pointed that out to them, and we're sure that very soon they'll be able to clear off all those remaining weaknesses that are in the system. But on the overall, they've done a very good job.
In the past 10 years, the Military Engineering Corps has become masters in road construction, especially as far as the use of dense graded alphat, metallic and soil cement mixture for the stability of road-based layers. These technical skills make the military a unit model in Africa. However, the military performance is not only seen in the construction domain.
The military engineers have two main missions, namely combat missions, which are the general missions, which can be devolved to the forces, very specific missions, particular support to mobility, assistance with support to mobility, safeguarding and protecting missions, and special missions. Today, our particular mission has arrived, in particular the fight against improvised explosive devices, which are the domain of military engineers.
Et l'aide à la gestion des catastrophes.
In October 2016, following the Ezeka railway accident, the military engineers used their machines and their know-how in the extraction of wagons that have fallen into the ravines, an operation that required the involvement of several dozens of men and ultra-modern rolling stocks. After the Ngwashi catastrophe in Bafoussam, which occurred in the night of October 28, 2019, killed 43 souls, the Military Engineering Corps did a rapid intervention on high instruction of the President of the Republic with their heavy and light duty machines and well-qualified staff. The combat engineers have shown their expertise and commitment in searching under rubble as well as arranging the space for resettlement of survivors. In the same vein, the expertise of the military engineering had equally shown competence after the collapse of a building in the Yaoundé neighborhood on 20th of December 2019. Here, the mission was the same, searching the rubble of the collapsed building at the place called Shell Simeo. Today, the Military Engineering Corps is the pride of the Cameroonian Army and the population that happen to be the first beneficiaries of its daily works. With the permanent professionalization of its men and the continuous renewal of its equipment, the elite unit of the Cameroonian Army is well equipped to play a leading role in the structuring projects undertaken by the government in order to achieve the great ambitions of the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, for the emergence of Cameroon in 2035. Under the supervision of the minister delegates at the presidency in charge of defense, the Military Engineering Corps remains the arm of the Cameroon development.